Hey film friends, I'm Nick Furman. This is... What the... Oh, seriously? Hey, what's up? Yeah, did you watch it yet? No. Yes, Sardar Udham. It's on Amazon Prime. Yes, Hindi and English. No, bro, there's not a single song or dance in this movie. Yeah, I know. They're really great at that. No, not like Slumdog. Dude, Slumdog sucks. It's not melodramatic either. Dude, the final hour of this thing slaps. You gotta check it out. Listen, I gotta go, man. Like, I'm on set right now. All right, peace. Freaking guy, every single time is trying to record. We still rolling? Hey film friends, I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman On Film. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be bringing you the highly requested review of Sardar Udham. If you're new to the channel, here's our format. We'll start with the brief synopsis, then move into some of my own likes and dislikes of the film, before concluding with some of my own original thoughts and some deeper analysis of the themes of the picture. For those of you who know the deal, feel free to skip around and use the timestamps in the description below. And of course, as always, please stay to the end to get our FOF rating out of 5 stars. Without further ado, this is Sardar Udham. Sardar Udham is a biopic detailing the 2 decades that revolutionary Udham Singh, a freedom fighter from Punjab, spent planning the assassination of the man responsible for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre in Amritsar. In it, director Shoojit Sircar relates a sobering tale amidst a heavy, pensive score, full of frequent cross-cutting and time-hopping narratives. A story which introduces newbies like me to the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, figures like Bhagat Singh, Michael O'Dwyer, and the imperialist presence in India, and a British leadership scrambling for PR coverage, controlling the press and attempting to speed up the trial of our titular character. A brief courtroom drama and a soul-shaking revelation. Sardar Udham is many things all at once. Okay, let's start by talking about what I liked about this picture. Man, so many things. Look, in some ways, this is the most plodding of slow burns. We know what these kinds of pictures are. Period pieces are generally pretty buttoned up and staid. Historical dramas are written with their pens dipped in the ink of these factual details, which it becomes incumbent upon the director to relate to us, so they can feel overstuffed. But I have to say, with the way that the story is constantly shifting and time moving, there's a sort of vital propulsion to Sardar Udham as well. Characters or names get mentioned in interrogation, and then the story flashes back to Udham actually meeting these characters on screen. Things are connected, even if varied. More importantly, this film is as much about secret backroom weapon deals, secret confidants, and loose associations underneath the geopolitical level as anything else. It's a film about spies. Though some of the details of his real life are shrouded in mystery, here, Udham Singh was a smooth dude, making a living as a lingerie salesman and then a welder, a sort of jack of all trades, one of the original international men of mystery. So slow does not equal boring. There is a procedural element to many historical dramas that can sap characters of their more human qualities. But I think this film at times sidesteps that landmine pretty well. For instance, the scene where the drunken Singh speaks of freedom to an old white bench dweller is one of my favorites of the entire picture. Just a deeply human moment. And it's a really interior performance that Vicky Kaushal gives. He's not the most expressive guy verbally, but there is power in his facial acting, his tone, the gravity of his presence. You know, I also appreciated the way that Sardar attempted to humanize O'Dwyer's character and the chief inspectors as well. At one point, we see his motivation for action. Would you kill one man to save 10? I ended Gandhi's soul force with brute force. But in so doing, the film depicts him as all the more culpable and odious, the calculating, rational monster. Now, in order to get into our next bit, I want to talk about the structure of the film. But to do so, I need to get into some spoilers. To avoid those, use the timestamps in the description below. If I was going to recommend Sardar Udham to anyone, and this is me doing so, go see it. It would be for this fact above all else. The assassination takes place 28 minutes into this film. The structure becomes brilliant because the climax isn't the shooting at all, but the massacre at Jallianwala Bagh. And to make this culmination both action-packed and kinetic and deeply personal is just a stroke of genius. The film pulls no punches with the brutality and visceral nature of the massacre. In fact, the torturous interrogation scenes in the prison are equally affecting on that deep-seated level. The scene with him combing through these bodies is gut-wrenching. It reminded me a lot of Hacksaw Ridge. Raw, chilling, only the battle is already over, for it was no battle at all. And the body recovery effort just goes on and on and on. It's a heart-wrenching final act. Nothing else matches the searing intensity of the film's last hour. Okay, let's move on to some of the things that I liked a little bit less. Well, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. This film hops between years and back again frequently. And this could be disorienting for some viewers. Sometimes we're not exactly sure where we are in time. This movement also makes it difficult for us to feel the full emotional pull of Udham's journey, where a lot of who Singh is obscured from us. His background and motivations are only slowly revealed to us in a series of flashbacks, Citizen Kane style. Earlier, I mentioned the very human scene of him slipping into a kind of drunken despair, and there are some other touches a lot like it. You know, I wanted more of the flashbacks with his mute love interest. I just love a romance. And more of the scenes with the touches of levity that Bhagat Singh's character brought to most of the film's heft. In the absence of these, yeah, the film is a long and slow burn. But for the first 90 or so minutes, it can be kinda inert at times. And let me introduce two other words as well: excess and bloat. I think critics could level both of these descriptors at the film. It's clear that Sircar is very fond of this material and wants to stuff us to the gills with it. But at times, the picture doubles back on itself. They run the entire shooting sequence twice, for instance, and other moments don't connect as linearly as I would have hoped. And I think this is probably most clear in the fact that this film has just about as many endings as Return of the King. More spoilers coming for just about 10 seconds. Is the finale his hanging and the picture that he's clutching in his hand? Is it his baptism after the murders and commitment to a revolutionary crusade? Is it the Hunter Commission and the ridiculous doublespeak of the Brits in charge here? It's all of them? Okay. But what's the one lasting image you want us to take from this picture? Just a little more focus in places like that would have done wonders for me. All right, so let's move on to some of my own original thoughts about the themes of this film. Here's where I want to talk briefly about patriotism and jingoism. You know, I went into this picture blind. In fact, I came at it as a recommendation from so many of you. So my perspective is coming from a place of simply hearing how great and underappreciated a work this is, without knowing much about the story and the history of the character at all. I'm sad to admit this. In my view, this is a film that is deeply patriotic, without ever being cloying or ham-fisted. It's full of beautiful quotes about the rights to freedom and independence as a nation. An ideology whose time has come is unstoppable. Freedom is our birthright, and therefore we reject this oppressive regime. Ooh, that gives me chills just saying it. But the film never pulls punches in knowing what it takes for revolution. Like they're elephants, he says at one point. Indians never forget their enemies. You've heard of Bloody Sunday, he says to an IRA arms dealer. I've seen it in India. It's all just tremendously moving stuff without resorting to simple answers, digestible emotions, or pat conclusions. So, what do we conclude? Well, I think above all, we have to admire the ambitious scale and grand vision of director Shoojit Sircar and writers Shubhendu Bhattacharya and Ritesh Shah. It's a slow burn historical drama which folds in spy networks, courtroom intrigue, assassination plots, revolutionary fervor, and one of the most moving denouements I've ever seen. Sardar Udham is a film I will not soon forget. Well, there you have it. The only thing left to discuss is our rating for this film. FOF gives Sardar Udham 4.4 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed this review, please let us know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. You can also hit that little bell so you get notified each time we release a new video. And to all of you who reached out and requested that we review this film, how did we do? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman on Film. Stay firm, my friends.